So today I'm going to show you how to complete our career choice project. There are 3 components to this module. You already completed another module, which is the wise choice process module, and you did a worksheet and you turned that in. This is going to be the end of this project, and it has 3 components to it, so I'm going to quickly go over it so that you kind of have a point of reference so you can see some things and kind of hear some things like live in person. But there are plenty of resources here with directions that if you read through them, you'll be able to complete the project as well. One of the first things you're going to need to do is definitely log in to your eCampus and open up a tab and go to the library homepage, so the El Centro Library homepage. So once you're in eCampus, I want you to open the Career Choice Project module, and you'll see here that in great detail there are instructions about how to complete this project and what you should be doing for the project. So again, if you are lost, you can come back here and you'll get in-depth instructions and how to do things, but this video should be able to help you in addition to the library webpage as well. So the first thing we're going to do is find and identify information. So we're working with the one career from our wise choice process worksheet that we chose. So we're going to do step 1, we're going to find and identify sources. So we're going to explore the Ferguson's Career Guide and the Occupational Outlook. But one of the first things that you should always do when you're doing a research paper or you're writing about anything that involves facts is cite your sources. So I'm going to show you how your sources need to be cited for this project, and to do that for this specific class and the specific project, you are going to need to go to the library homepage and click Library Guide and Research. You'll need to scroll down and click on HDEV, and that will give you all the information for our course. Once you click on HDV, I need you to click on Noodle Tools, which is to the right. And then you are going to need to log in. I'm going to go ahead and log out so I can show you how to log in. You are going to use your ID number to sign in, no E, and then your last name is your password. Then you'll click Sign In. Once you get in, you are going to see under your projects, it's going to be HDEV Career Project. You'll need to click on that, and you're ready to cite. So you're going to click Sources, and we're going to cite our first source, which was nextmove.org, because that's where we got some of our career information, if you recall, to fill out our wise choice process worksheet. So you'll leave this tab open because you'll need this to cite, and then you'll toggle back over to the library homepage, and you will need to click this blue tab here that says Assignments, and you're going to need to open up a handout, a guide to help you cite, and that's giving credit and creating citations with Noodle Tools. You'll need to open that. It will open into a Word document, and you'll need to follow this very carefully. If you follow this, it has everything you're supposed to do in Noodle Tools down to a T. If you notice, there's even arrows here kind of showing you where you should be and where to click. So this first part kind of goes over what I just said. You know, we got to the library homepage, and then we clicked HDV, we clicked Noodle Tools. It shows you how to log in case you forget what I just showed you, and then it shows you to click on the HDEV Career Project and then click Sources, and that's where we last left off. It's going to tell you create a new citation. So remember, you're doing this in Noodle Tools, which we logged in and we have here. We click Sources. You're going to click Create a new citation. Next, it's going to ask you to say click Website, Web Page, and then you're going to see something similar to this, and you are going to fill all of this information in exactly as it is here into your Noodle Tools, because Next Move information was the same for all of us. So you're going to create a new citation. Remember, it said website, it was web page, and then you are going to use all the information from the handout to fill this blue space in here. Make sure you use the handout and you follow it correctly so that your citation is correct. Once you've done that, it says this is how your citation should look. If it does not look like this, you need to go back and edit. You've missed something along the way. Next, we are going to create the citation for the Occupational Handbook. So you'll create this citation. You'll fill all this information out again. But before you click Submit, you're going to need to get some other information. So you will need to toggle back to the library homepage where we're under assignments. Click Home, because that's going to take you back to the Human Development page, and open the Occupational Handbook. Once you're in the Occupational Handbook, you'll need to search your career. So you'll put your career in that bar that said Search Handbook, and then you'll need to click on your career. Now, once it shows you your career, you have all the information here you need. So you'll go back to citing, and you'll be able to cite correctly because the handout tells you how to cite everything, but it asks you for a web page title or document, and everybody's title of their web page or document is going to be different because we all have different careers that we chose. So you'll take this right here, and you will put it here under article or web page document title because that was the document title. And then you will continue on citing as this handout told you. All the other information is exactly the same that you need to put in except that title. Unless you want to be a librarian, then you would leave that title in there. Moving forward, it's going to ask you to cite Ferguson's Guidance Center, and it's just showing you how to start a new citation and all the information you'll need to put here. You need to leave the Occupational Handbook open, but now you need to also go back to the library webpage. We're still under HDEV Home, and you are going to need to click Ferguson's Guide to Careers. So once this opens, you will again need to type in your career that you chose in the search bar for Ferguson's, and then you're going to need to select one of these careers. Now you'll notice Ferguson's gets a lot more in depth when it comes to your career. So if you chose nurse, it's going to give you lots of different types of nurses, and that could be helpful because you may want to be a specific type of nurse. You may want to be a midwife, an anesthesiast, a practitioner, perhaps a school nurse, and it's going to give you the option to pick those very specific types of nurse here to get very poignant information relevant to the career that you're choosing. So click on the job description that seems most close to what you wanted to do, and you'll have this open here as well, just like the Occupational Handbook. Once you finish citing Ferguson's, remember how to cite is here. This is our last citation that we're making. So now you've cited 3 things: nextmove.org, Occupational Handbook, and Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. Remember that there are some specific information that you need to put in the occupational and the Ferguson's, and so you'll need to have those websites open with your career search to do that. So notice the Ferguson's ask you for an author and a title, and in Ferguson's, that information is toward the bottom. And that's going to be different for all of us because we all had a different article. So here's the title of the article, and it will give you the author. This one doesn't have an author. It's just Ferguson's Career Guide Center, so there's no author. If there's no author, you just leave that blank, and it will cite correctly for you. Once you've cited all 3 of those, you're going to need to make note cards. You're going to need 7 note cards for each source, excluding nextmove.org. So you're going to need 7 note cards for Ferguson's and 7 note cards for the Occupational Handbook. Now, this handout again that we have open from the library will show you how to make those note cards step by step. See, it says here create note cards. There are going to be 7 note cards, and these are going to be the titles of those note cards. You're going to have the same titles for each source, Occupational Handbook and for Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. That same information is written here. Once you have your 3 citations made, it will look just like this. Occupational Handbook, this is the article from Ferguson's, and this is the nextmove.org citation. You're going to go under Note Cards, and you're going to click New. And you're going to make 7. You're going to do that 7 times for the Bureau of Labor Statistics Occupational Handbook, and 7 times for the Ferguson's article. So you'll have 14 in all. So once you click New, it will give you this information. You'll click your title here. Remember, the titles for your note cards are up here. You'll click Skills is the first one, and then you will need to put the skills here. So if I am on the Occupational Handbook citation and I'm making my 7 note cards for that, when it comes to skills, I'm going to need to go back to my occupation.